Hey everyone, it's Eric Gisler, Democratic candidate for House District 121 in Georgia. 42 days left until the election, and today I thought I'd talk a little bit about guns. So my position on the Second Amendment might be a little bit different from a lot of Democrats. I'm actually not a gun owner, just not something I ever really got into. But I am a history buff, and I've read up on the Second Amendment. And the Second Amendment isn't about hunting deer, right? It's not even really about protecting your own house, although it could be seen that way. The purpose of the Second Amendment is really about, number one, protection, defending a foreign invasion. Remember, it was written in the 18th century, and we didn't have a standing army or a national guard at that time. So it's really about, protecting the country from foreign invasion. But if you read some of the Federalist Papers, yeah, that conservative idea out there about, protection from a tyrannical government is true. It's the last line of defense that the people have against a tyrannical government. I would say closest I ever saw to that made me kind of think, maybe I need to go look into this, was the January 6th insurrection. If those people had been able to take over the government, yeah, I might want a gun. So anyway, but I also recognize that guns are the #1 killer of children in this country and in this state. We have an unprecedented school shooting situation that is not, as J.D. Vance likes to say, a fact of life. It's something that didn't exist before. When I graduated high school in 1994, I had never gone through an active shooter drill. Nobody I knew had. It was unheard of, right? So it's not a fact of life. There are things that can be done at the state level, and I'm gonna list a few of them here. In the last session, there were 2 gun safety bills that tried to make it through. One was a tax credit for purchasing gun safety devices. Totally voluntary, not required or anything, just a tax credit if you did. That made it through the House and got stuck in the Senate. Number 2 was a bill with a little more teeth on it that required you to lock up your guns if you have minor children in the house. That one got a hearing in committee in the House and didn't go anywhere. So that's where we are. That's what the GOP is getting through. In the meantime, meanwhile, they did withdraw or would repeal concealed carry permits this past session. They have expanded where guns can go in the state. They've refused to close background checks, universal background checks, the loopholes there. And they refuse to consider things like red flag laws, which we know from other states do have the ability to help reduce the incidence of gun violence, especially against children. So as a representative, those are the things that I'd like to work on. I want to help, increase and incentivize people to have gun safety devices, but I think that we need to go further than that. And we can do all of that while still protecting the Second Amendment. And in fact, if you look at polls, even Republican identifying gun owners, responsible citizen gun owners, want to have some of these protections as well. So why the Republicans won't do it, I have no idea. So it's time to get people in that will.